Hello and welcome to the Energy Connect studio at India Energy Week 2025. I'm delighted to be joined in the studio today by Kamal Kishore Chatiwal, Managing Director, and Mohit Bhatia, Director Commercial, both at Indraprastha Gas Limited or IGL. Thank you both for coming down to the Energy Connect studio. I really appreciate your time here. And to start off, could you please give us a quick overview of IGL and its operations?
Yeah, thank you, Chiranjeev. And good to connect with Energy Connect. Just to give a background about IGL, it is the India's largest CNG company in India and selling close to 30% of the total sales in India. So if we look at CNG sales, they are close to 24-25 million, and IGL sells around 7.5 million of that. And in terms of total sales, in terms of CNG and PNG, all the three segments, industrial, commercial, domestic segment, we sell close to 25% of India's total sales of around 42 million. So we are at around 9.5 or so. And we operate in 11 geographical areas out of 307 that we have in India. And in terms of districts, we are in 36 districts of the country. Primary operation is in the NCR region and slowly expanding to other geographies also.
Right. And since you're commercially handling the operations, your perspective on that?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for the opportunity. See, as our MD also told that IGL has been the pioneers in the CGD industry. And if we see the current scenario, IGL is contributing to almost now sales of 9 million plus per day. And out of this, 75% are the CNG volumes, whereas 12 to 13% is industrial and commercial, and around 7 to 8% is the domestic PNG volumes. So currently, IGL has operations of around 900 plus CNG stations, and we are catering to around 3 million of domestic PNG customers. And apart from that, INC has also picked up fantastically in the recent times. And almost now we have around 11 to 12,000 industrial and commercial customers, and 1 million plus is the industrial and commercial volumes also. And in terms of like the infrastructure and all, we have laid around 24,000 plus MDP network and around 2,000 kilometers plus steel network across NCR and the balanced GL also. And if we see the CAGR trend of the growth and all, we are growing at around 8 to 9%. And in particularly, the good thing is we have 11 GS, and there also we are growing in double digit to the tune of 28 to 30%.
I mean, that's not just only a lot of growth, but there's a lot of projects. And coming to that point, could you tell us more about how and what has been IGL's strategic contribution to the Indian energy sector?
You see, if you look at the energy, the theme that even the minister also said that the energy needs of country are increasing day by day. Since our mission is by 2047 we have to be a developed country, and energy demand is growing at 4 to 5% every year. So currently 950 million tons oil equivalent is the energy demand of the country, growing at 3 to 4%. If we include the efficiency part also, we need that kind of energy. So a single segment giving that kind of energy is not possible. So it needs a multiple sources of energy. Now gas is one such source which is, much cleaner than the solid and liquid fuels, fossil fuels that we have today. Straight away, if I tell that 30% less CO2 emission as compared to coal and diesel, so that gives it a major advantage. In addition to that, there is some economic advantage also, that in the sense that, just to give an example, that in Delhi the petrol is selling at 95, CNG is selling at 75, and the unit of measurement is in kg, that is in liters. So you can see the advantage, and that gives the advantage of mileage also, because of the unit of measurement. So 1 kg of CNG is 30% more mileage than 1 liter of petrol. So if you combine both the price as well as the mileage advantage, we get an advantage of 40 to 50% in the running cost. And the capex incurred on converting a vehicle to CNG is, I would say, 5 to 10% depending on the model. So that's not a very high upfront cost, I would say, for acquisition. And the running cost is very low. So that is why this is a very, very good alternative, both in terms of the transport sector in terms of domestic cooking gas and industrial and commercial. Now, if you look at the environmental concern across the globe, I would say, so this becomes a bridge fuel from, say, the current fossil fuels to the ultimate clean energy or the renewable energy. So that bridge, I think, makes it a very, very important fuel going for a couple of decades, I would say.
That's a very, very valid point, and especially when, I think world over everybody is looking to natural gas as the transition fuel.
See, just to add, IGL has been sort of a cornerstone for the last 25 years in developing the entire ecosystem in terms of energy, particularly in the natural gas CGD sector. And as we know that India has a vision for taking the energy basket mix of natural gas from 6% to 15%. And IGL has been a pioneer in that. And secondly, if you see the Delhi story, see the major thrust was there on the air quality index and CAQM. So IGL has really put in those efforts for creating a clean energy, reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, particularly in NCR and all. And now this story is not limited to Delhi and all, because now we are growing in other geographical areas. And secondly, as you know, that Delhi is particularly the largest CNG market in the globe, and not only in India, it is across the globe. And I would like to here mention one more thing, that now we are also getting into the affordability and accessibility, particularly in the rural market also. So across our GS, we are penetrating into rural segment also, and then the energy security, affordability, and accessibility of the transition fuel is also taking off.
It's an excellent point. And circling back to your earlier comment where you gave the overview of your operations, and you also spoke about your expansion plans, especially outside of the NCR. So could you please elaborate on that?
You see, one is that what we have acquired through our bidding process. So we have a couple of geographical areas through direct bidding. In addition to that, I feel that the sector is bound to consolidate going forward. Now, the only bottleneck there is the minimum work program that people have committed. So maybe if some policy framework around that abnormally high minimum work program, I mean, which are not feasible or possible, if those are tweaked a little bit, then I think the consolidation in the sector can be better. The good players can come in, and the big boys of the sector, they can come in and make things possible. Right now, it's some heavy lifting being done by smaller players. So that's why I feel the growth is a little slow. But if big players are handled this responsibility, the sector can grow very, very fast than the 10 to 11% that it is growing currently. So it has the potential to grow 30% every year if the big players come in.
That's a very, very bold and ambitious number, 30%. And yeah, so
No, because we are demonstrating in our outside GAs around 28 to 30% growth. So we feel that it is possible.
So just to add, see, S&P insights are there. By 2040, CGD is going to triple the volumes, 3x. And in particularly, see, for the last couple of years and all, if we see, and our ambition is also to put up around 70 to 80 CNG stations per year. And not only this, the government plan has also to take from 1.2 crores of PNG customers to 12 to 13 crore of PNG customers. So IGL, it's contributing to adding of around 3 lakh PNG customers month over month. So this is one. Then secondly, we are also aggressively moving into the digital solutions, in particularly at our CNG fuel stations. So we have recently integrated our terminal machines with the dispensing stations, dispensers. So to have sort of digital payment solutions for ease and creating a trust and convenience to the customers also at the forecourt.
now, what are some of the projects that you're really excited about?
You see, one is that the CBG, I feel that has a great potential in India, and that is yet to be tapped. I mean, the government has a ambitious plan, and we feel that going forward, if it gets a critical mass, some of the projects that could be demonstrated that what is the kind of success that is possible with this space. So just to give an example, that we have a plan to make one of our geographical areas being supplied through only the biogas. Not only being supplied, but excess of biogas in that area so that it can export also. So if we can make some of our geographical areas being self-reliant by self-reliant, I mean that all the biogas that is produced in that area is being utilized there. So that makes it a self-reliant and not only economical, but more of a sustainability point of view, that from waste you are generating biogas and then feeding that GA. So you are not dependent on either the domestic gas or the imported LNG, but from that waste you are there. We believe that many of our geographical areas, especially in the agriculture, rural hinterland, some of the smaller towns and cities, so they can be fed with that, and the industrial clusters are also there. So in our geographical areas, we are fortunate that we are surrounded by some of the sugar industries, agriculture space is also there. So those wastes, we feel, have a huge potential to convert to biogas, and that gives us a flexibility that it is the cheapest gas available. The biogas that we produce is the cheapest gas available, and the government is giving a lot of support to that sector. So that makes it a very attractive proposition going forward, that we feel that, the best is yet to come. I would say this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. And if we are able to realize the potential that the sector has, so it has the potential to replace 15 to 20% of the imported LNG that we are doing this. So world over, that has been demonstrated. Like Germany has demonstrated, Europe has demonstrated, US has demonstrated. So I don't see why India can't do it. I would say India can do it much, much better.
So just to add on the LNG project, see, the future is long haul distance. The fuel is LNG as compared to the conventional or alternative fuels. So currently we already have commissioned one LNG station at Ajmer, and we have tied up with Concor also, and coming up another station in Dadri and another two more also. And we have an aspiration to by maybe next by 2030 or so on to add up around 100 to 200 LNG stations particularly. So this is one area where IGL will be really focusing as a diversified growth strategy.
That's a very sort of ambitious as well as a very sort of bold and forward-looking pathway ahead. And finally, we are here at India Energy Week, where you, as a key partner, I wanted to know what is your what are you looking forward to, and what are your expectations from this event?
So I was saying that this is the second largest energy event in the world. And this provides a great platform to all of us to collaborate with. Say you have the innovators, the policymakers, the suppliers, the vendors, and energy players on one platform, and they can then connect and form MOUs, partnerships that last not beyond this event, but much beyond that. So they can strategize. So this gives us an opportunity that in one place you have all the players related to our sector, our industry, and we can then diversify, think about diversification, securing our future current needs, planning about the future. So this is a great platform, and in a very short span of 3-4 days, you can plan your next couple of years strategy. So that, I think, makes it a very, very unique event, and we look forward to doing some of those things.
So just to add, I feel that this is a strategic platform which creates a global connect, and across 50 countries, around 7,000 plus participants, professionals across the globe are here. And we look forward from IJL point of view, some strategic alliance and maybe some technical innovations, what's happening across the globe and particularly oil and gas sector and particularly CG sector. So we would like to take advantage of that. And there are investors also, there are regulatory bodies also coming. So we can have some policy advocacy and all those things also. So I think a wonderful platform to take off.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for your valuable insights and for coming down to the Energy Connect studio. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, and all the very best to this conference.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, and you can always get more comprehensive coverage of the energy industry at energyconnects.com. I'll be back with more studio interviews from India Energy Week. Until then, goodbye.